Today is May 21st, 2023, and excitingly, this last weekend, they've announced two brand new megazords in two wildly distinct franchises, neither of which relate to Power Rangers or Super Sentai. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, a megazord is sort of the combination of around 4 or 5 little piloted individual robots. Like, these are vehicles, these are robot animals, something like that, and they combine together through the power of teamwork to create what is known as a megazord, colloquially. We all know what one is when we look at it, even if it's made by a different company. So I want to talk about that while I eat these delicious donuts, because that's the kind of life I'm living right now. So the first one of these is the culmination of the Shin Heroes movie franchise by Toei. These are like Shin Kamen Rider, Shin Ultraman, Shin Godzilla, and Shin Neon Genesis Evangelion. Each one of these movies individually seems like a faithful recreation of the original source material. So with Kamen Rider, with Shin Kamen Rider, it's almost a direct one-to-one comparison in multiple shots. What's happening though is that Toei wants to create these into the Shin universe, a cinematic universe akin to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or one of the other cinematic universes where all these different heroes come together in an Avengers style event. And come together they did, because you have this combination sequence that they've just teased where Godzilla, Evangelion, Kamen Rider, and Ultraman all combine into a megazord. I don't like this combination sequence because Ultraman, Godzilla, and even to an extent the EVA unit are all wholly organic, so seeing them rip apart is kind of horrifying. But you do have iconic moments, such as Godzilla's head bursting through an AT field, which kind of folds open into doors. I don't know how much that works, because I'm not really an Evangelion fan, but I am a Kamen Rider fan, and seeing him fly his motorcycle into the air to become the head of this robot is just absolutely insane. And he seems to be able to pilot the entire Megazord by himself, which makes sense to an extent, but it also leaves him quite exposed, and he's kind of like the weak spot of the Megazord, which is horrifying to say, and kind of one of my biggest critiques about the whole Megazord setup here is when you have an obvious weak point that anyone can see, but that weak point is Kamen Rider, you kind of know that you messed up, right? Like, how can it be the weak point when his whole shtick is that he jumps into the air to do a high kick? If anything, like, that is both the weak point and the strongest point. It's insane to think about this entire setup, and it's just really confusing. It's an incohesive mess. It looks crazy, it's derivative, it seems almost predictable to the point that they were doing this, and after all of that, it seems to be advertising for a toy that's just way out of anybody's reasonable price range. I understand that you have to pay for like license fees and all that, but this is so fucking ridiculous. On the entire other hand, we have the Care Bears Megazord that just dropped. So this is for Unlock the Magic. This show was quietly canceled, but they were allowed 3 new half-hour segments. Each one seems to have already been going through production, so because the show was already canceled, some of the voice actors are different. It's a little weird, but what happens in this one is Grumpy gets splashed with this weird pink liquid that makes him kaiju-sized, like a giant monster, and the other Care Bears have to stop him by creating a Megazord, which is apparently a thing they can do, and honestly, I am just so happy about that. It's definitely a good addition to the lore. It makes sense because they were already able to summon cloud cars to begin with. They already had the individually piloted robots throughout Unlock the Magic anyway, so this just actually seems like a good addition to the grander lore of this show. The Megazord has the ability to amplify their belly badge powers to create a more powerful Care Bear stare in order to fight off larger monsters. It has the ability to switch the wings on its back into a jetpack, which is incredible. You know, just like in real life, bears can fly around on jetpacks. It's fantastic. It seems like the Care Bear one is unexpected, inspired, way more cohesive, stylish, sleek than the other one that I talked about. And just in general, it's not even designed to push merchandise, but I kind of want to buy a toy of it. That's how you should do it. I'm gonna eat a donut. This one is, I think, Boston cream. There's no filling. This is kind of like a metaphor for the Shin Hero Megazord. It looks stylish and cool, but there's literally no substance. That's so funny. So right now I'm currently working on perhaps the longest video I've ever done. This is a How Strong Is Versus video, so you may remember I did one of those for Ben 10 versus Kamen Rider Decade. I did one for Evangelion versus Swamp Thing. Those exist, those videos. But this one, this one's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be incredibly lengthy, so I really want to prepare you guys, as well as thank you for your patience. This video, I have the first 2 hours fully edited. I don't know how long it's going to be, and I don't know how long it's going to take to make it. In the meantime, which Megazord do you think is best? Let me know down in the comments. I'm gonna try to eat a better donut, because that one was awful. Thank you.